Arden Cho is the acting voice behind Rumi, but she's so much more. She's an American actress, singer, musician, model, and content creator who's quietly built a multifaceted career across TV, music, and online media. And now she's the speaking voice of Rumi, a character that's captivated audiences around the world.
The Saja boys will sit with us.
For those just discovering her for the first time, you may be surprised that she's been a well-known online personality, especially for the Asian American community. Since the dawn of YouTube, she's been building her brand with covers, music videos, and collaborations with other prominent YouTubers. While she's been known in our little pond, K-pop Demon Hunters has propelled her onto the global stage. Since launching this channel over the last week and doing deep dives on many of the people behind the scenes, I've noticed one consistent theme, which I believe has been the X factor to the success of K-pop Demon Hunters. The actors and singers behind these characters are a natural fit. Each of their own personalities, struggles, and identities fit perfectly with each character, making it almost second nature to embody. In a recent interview with New Rockstars, the actresses for Rumi, Mira, and Zoe all mentioned how each of their characters resembled their own personalities. In our last video, we introduced Maggie Kang, the mind behind K-pop Demon Hunters. In an interview she did with Arden, she explained that she specifically chose Arden not only for her acting experience and her familiarity with Netflix, but also because it would be deeply meaningful for Arden. This is great insight, as Arden herself has faced a struggle with identity just like Rumi. Arden's story starts in Texas. Born August 16, 1985 to Korean immigrant parents, she grew up between Amarillo, San Antonio, and Plano. Those early years, feeling like an outsider in places with few Asian Americans, she was bullied frequently. As she put it, "Here I was at 11, getting beat up for just being me." Her injuries ranged from a few bumps and scrapes to 2 incidents where she was hospitalized. On one occasion, she was pushed off the school bus. On another occasion, she had 2 teeth knocked out of her, which required 6 months to fully recover. While her body eventually recovered, she struggled to overcome her insecurities as an Asian American. Despite her challenges, she excelled in playing piano, cello, and gymnastics. After attending high school in Apple Valley, Minnesota, she headed off to college at the University of Illinois. Arden originally enrolled in college with her sights set on becoming a lawyer. But somewhere between lectures and case studies, she signed up for her first drama class, and everything shifted. For the first time, she began to see acting as more than a hobby. College also introduced her to a broader Asian American community, something she'd rarely experienced growing up in Texas and Minnesota. During college, she chose to enter a pageant and was crowned Miss Korea Chicago 2004. Maybe Asia would be different, she thought. Maybe she could work in dramas there. But when she traveled to Korea, the industry response was blunt. She didn't fit their beauty ideal. Agencies told her she'd need a lot of work, not just 1 or 2 tweaks, but more like 20. Her nose, eyes, hairline, lips, cheeks, jawbone, neck, even her legs. Nothing was off limits, and Arden refused. By the time she graduated in 2007 with a degree in psychology, her career path had quietly but decisively changed direction. Arden's path to acting wasn't a straight line. After college, she moved to Los Angeles. She trained, worked odd jobs, and slowly built a resume of small parts that eventually led to bigger opportunities. She was hustling in every way, trying to make a name for herself. In the early days of YouTube, she planted a few seeds which would be nurtured to a sizable fandom that would follow her to this date. Her first video? A fun fight sequence worthy of a scene in K-pop Demon Hunters. By the way, she's also a black belt in Taekwondo. As a creator, Arden made song covers, vlogs, original music videos, and behind-the-scenes glimpses of her life. Her channel was a place where she experimented with music, shared her life, and connected with fans on a personal level. She collaborated with other Asian American YouTube creators, cementing her as one of the most recognizable figures among the Asian American community. As her resume continued to grow on her professional side, she was hired as a model for Nike in Japan and Reebok in Korea. In November 2010, Clinique announced Arden as her model for an advertisement campaign in Asia. The following year, she took a bold creative step with her debut single, I'm Just a Girl. a track she co-wrote, composed, and sang herself, with Ed Huang as co-writer and producer. She planned a tour for her debut for her first EP, My True Happy, in 2013, but those plans were shelved when she landed her career-changing role. Arden's major acting breakthrough came in 2014, when she joined MTV's Teen Wolf as Kira Yukimura. Her casting was a big deal. Kira was a half-Japanese, half-Korean teen with superpowers, and Arden became the main love interest for the lead character. By season 4, Arden was promoted to series regular, proof the showrunners wanted her front and center. But in 2016, ahead of season 6, Arden announced she wouldn't be returning. It was a bittersweet moment for fans who felt Kira's arc ended without proper closure. Years later, when Teen Wolf the movie was announced, fans hoped Kira would return. Arden was approached, but she declined. Reports revealed she was offered significantly less per episode than her white female co-stars, perhaps even half, and Arden later remarked that it might have been even less than that. Arden explained her decision wasn't driven by anger or ego. Instead, she turned it down because she believes in equality and hopes for better treatment of actors of color in the future. After Teen Wolf, Arden continued building her acting resume. In 2017, she joined Chicago Med in as a recurring role as Emily Choi, Dr. Ethan Choi's estranged sister. Meanwhile, in her personal life, Arden was in a highly visible relationship with fellow YouTuber Ryan Higa. Fans had noticed them together for years before he went public about their relationship in 2019, revealing they'd been dating for over 3 years. About a year later, they announced a mutual and amicable breakup in 2020. Around the same time, Arden leaned back into her artistic roots on YouTube, releasing new original songs, music videos, and vlogs that showcased her talent and versatility. Arden returned to the screens in 2022 as Ingrid Yun in Netflix's legal drama Partner Track, her first lead role in a streaming series. When Arden first read the script, she was struck by how rare it was to see an Asian American lead portrayed with such complexity. She was driven, flawed, ambitious, and unapologetically human. Ingrid wasn't defined by being Asian American. She was simply trying to make partner in a law firm. Unfortunately, Partner Track was canceled after just 1 season. So how did Arden land the part for Rumi? When Arden found out about the project for K-pop Demon Hunters, she knew she wanted to take any part for the movie. She initially auditioned for a different character, Celine. She didn't feel worthy of the role of Rumi. She didn't feel cool enough. But once the team heard her, they realized she belonged with Rumi. The casting felt like a natural fit. Arden's Korean-American experience, her performer instincts, and her emotional range matched the part perfectly. As director Maggie Kang put it, this role would be deeply meaningful for Arden. Rumi is a character who struggles with identity. She was born a half-demon, an identity she had to conceal even from her closest friends. As a hunter, she was taught to hate the very thing that she is, forcing her to live in constant tension between who she is expected to be and who she truly is. In many ways, Arden's own journey mirrors that struggle. Growing up as one of the few Asian Americans in her Texas hometown, Arden faced relentless bullying over her appearance and heritage. She learned early on what it felt like to hide parts of herself just to avoid being targeted. Even as she pursued acting, she encountered industry pressures in both the US and Asia to alter her looks and conform to narrow beauty ideals, pressures she ultimately rejected. Like Rumi, Arden knows what it's like to feel different and to be scared of showing her true self. She's faced those fears in her own life and learned to embrace who she is. The real-life strength is a big reason why she brings so much depth and truth to Rumi's story. Arden's journey from facing rejection and self-doubt to owning every part of who she is mirrors Rumi's path in K-pop Demon Hunters. And just like Rumi, she stepped into her moment. No more hiding. She's shining like she's born to be. And for the fans watching around the world, that's more than a lyric. It's a reminder that your light is worth showing and your story is worth telling. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you. I hope the story of Arden is an inspirational one. Comment below if you knew Arden prior to K-pop Demon Hunters. If so, when was it? Was it a music video? Was it Teen Wolf? Partner Track? I'd love to know. I hope to continue to highlight amazing people like this, so if you enjoy what you've watched, hit the like button. We're aiming for 1,000 subscribers, so if you take a moment to hit that subscribe button, that would mean the world to me. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.